What is up, you guys? It's Anime Fan Talk with a One Piece theory, Kizarus past slash backstory. Now, I don't think his backstory is entirely sad, but I think there's something that is sad. Just something really small, something that's been bothering Kizaru, because he's always lazy in One Piece. And I don't know if that's all the weed he's been smoking, but there has to be something to an extent of why Kizaru is just so lazy. And it's not weed. I just think there's something bothering him. Something sad that Kizaru himself wants to know. So that's why, that's why he's always lazy. And I'll explain in full detail later on. So basically, let's start off with the sketch that Oda drew. The image you see is basically 10-year-old Kizaru. Little boy, little Kizaru. Now, there's a lot from this sketch, from this image. So let's start off with what he's wearing. What he's wearing resembles a lot like what the Egyptians wore in ancient time. King crowns, or war crowns, or king war crowns. There's a lot of crowns in Egyptian ancient time, but what Kizaru's wearing resembles a lot like a king crown from Egyptian time, from the ancient times with the Egyptians. And doing a little research, these crowns are linked to a specific era. These crowns are worn in wars, and these crowns are also, they show your status in life. Moving on to the lantern. Kizaru has a lantern. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, the technology in the One Piece universe was not advanced. It wasn't. But it wasn't low. 50 years ago, they still had light. 20 years ago, they still had light. They had light. They had cameras. They had all of this. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, back then, they had technology. They had light. But it wasn't advanced. So why does Kizaru have a lantern? That indicates, to me, it indicates he's in a dark place. And I'll go into full detail, and that's my favorite part of the theory. I will go into full detail with that. And behind Kizaru is books. There are books behind Kizaru. So what does all of this mean? All of this symbolizes Kizaru's backstory, his past. As a little boy, and this may sound fucked up, this really may sound fucked up, but I think Kizaru was dropped off. I think his real parents didn't want him. I really think so. And it doesn't really matter if they're pirates or if they're Marines. Whether his parents are Marines or pirates, it doesn't matter. I think he was dropped off basically because their parents didn't want a boy. Or they didn't want a girl. They didn't want a child. Now, I'm not saying that Kizaru is a world noble, because world nobles would do shit like this. They would. They seriously would. But, I'm just looking at Kizaru, little Kizaru, and I would really think someone would drop him off. So I think Kizaru grew up in a dumb family, and Kizaru always wanted to be intelligent. He always wanted to be intelligent. Now, why do I bring this up? Because there are books behind Kizaru, and Kizaru's devil fruit power is light. And in this sketch, in this image, basically, there is no light whatsoever. I love that. Damn, Oda, you are amazing. Kizaru's devil fruit power is light. So basically, here in the real world, real life, ever since light was created, people strive to be intelligent. Now, I don't think Kizaru wanted to be the smartest person ever, but I think he just wanted to be different. I think he wanted knowledge. And it may sound stupid. How many characters do you know wanted to be intelligent? Some were born with intelligence, and others, they created intelligence. And I think that's what Kizaru was doing. But how did he create this intelligence? How did he become intelligent? Because I believe Kizaru grew up and lived. Basically, he was living with the wrong family. He was. But I believe he stumbled upon something rare, very, very rare, that made him want to become intelligent. And that is the Ancient Kingdom. 1,000 years ago, the Ancient Kingdom, in fact, indeed, they were defeated. But the Ancient Kingdom just can't be, they just can't vanish. Obviously, and the kingdom, was it Oliver? It was Clover. Clover said the Ancient Kingdom is huge. It is huge. How can a huge-ass kingdom just disappear? Obviously, someone hid it, or hided it, or destroyed it, or maybe, and this, here comes the lantern, or maybe the Ancient Kingdom is actually in the sea. Ever since the defeat of the Ancient Kingdom, I don't know, one of the Gorosei members, this is me talking out my ass, one of the Gorosei members or someone powerful sent the Ancient Kingdom down into the sea. That's why Kizaru has a lantern, because it's dark. It's in the sea. The sea, you can't see anything. Now, how did Kizaru discover the Ancient Kingdom? Well, because it's underwater, the only thing I can assume is that he tried to run away from home, but while he was on the ship, either by the marine ship or a pirate ship, doesn't matter, I think Kizaru realized that his family needed him. He may not like his family, but by golly, Kizaru knows how much they care for him, even though Kizaru doesn't really give a shit. So Kizaru tries to go back in a small boat, and I think a Sea King attacks Kizaru, and Kizaru is floating in the sea. The current was so strong, it sent Kizaru into the cave, and Kizaru washed up into the cave, like on land, into the cave, you know what I mean? So that's how I think Kizaru stumbled upon the Ancient Kingdom. And ever since he did stumble upon the Ancient Kingdom, and ever since Kizaru stumbled upon the Ancient Kingdom, he wants to know what this is, what the hat, what the crown is, and all of this stuff. Remember, King Crown, they link to specific eras. And maybe that's what Kizaru's wearing is Joy Boy's crown. I mean, Joy Boy was king. That is the theory. If you don't understand the theory, it has gone long enough. The theory is this: Kizaru, as a little boy, he was dropped off by his real parents, and he was given to a family that isn't worth giving a fuck about. So he runs away from home, but while he does run away, he learns that he doesn't need them, but they need Kizaru. Even though the family might be fucked up in some way, shape, or form, Kizaru knows that he's gotta be there for his family, even though he's not even blood related. So while he's going back to his family, a Sea King attacks him, and Kizaru floats into the sea. And the current is so strong, it pulls him into this cave. And within that cave is the Ancient Kingdom. So Kizaru, as a little boy, he grew up most of the time, living in the Ancient Kingdom, learning and stuff. However, when he was, let's say late 1918, someone discovered Kizaru in the Ancient Kingdom. And I think that was either one of the Gorosei members or Sengoku, has to be Sengoku, anybody from the Marines that is a higher up. And before Kizaru could learn what happened in the Void Century and all of this stuff, I believe a Marine, a higher up, told white lies. He told some lies to Kizaru. then convince him to become a Marine and twist and change history. That's what I think is Kizarus' past, his backstory. He's always wanted to be intelligent. He discovered the ancient kingdom, and as soon as he was so close to discovering the true history of the Void Century, someone from the Marines, someone from the royal government, a higher up, stopped him. They didn't kill him, they stopped him, and they twisted his mind, thus convincing him to join the Marines and fight against pirates. And till this day, why Kizaru is so lazy is because I think that's bothering Kizaru. What if Kizaru is just thinking, what if the royal government told this lie to me? That is the theory. If you enjoyed the theory, please be sure to leave a like. And if you're new, if you could please subscribe, that would be really great. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anime Fan Talk, signing off.